Welcome everybody to your Business Morning. This is a brand new business day. It's Wednesday, the 30th of January. Of course, we've just got 2 days left on the market street to wrap up the first month of the new year. I am Bosun Number. Thank you everyone for being here. But let's get on to some of the big stories making the headlines here and of course across the other platforms. The latest corruption perception index that came in yesterday, the ranking by the London-based Transparency International, as you already know, shows Nigeria tiptoes from 148 in the ranking list to 144. That's 4 points, if you want to put it that way. But the country remains stagnant in scoring at 27 out of 100 points set by the Transparency International. Trying to understand and break it down a little bit for everyone to understand where we are at the moment. Nigeria is still ranked very high in terms of corruption perception within the ECOWAS sub-region, or West Africa to be more in particular, and this is breaking it down for you. Over the last few years, this is how Nigeria ranked. We're not taking it global, we just say within the West African sub-region. Nigeria remains number 2 most corrupt country for 2017 and 2018. And for those 2 years, we scored 27 out of 100 points. In 2016, Nigeria was the 5th most corrupt country in terms of the CPI, what you call Corruption Perception Index, in West Africa. We scored 28. And then in 2015, we were number 3. On the listing for West Africa, the 3rd most corrupt country, we scored 26. So if you just take a look at that, what you're looking at on your TV screen, you see that in 2015, we were number 3. And of course, we did slightly better, moving down to number 5. Then, of course, between 2017 and 2018, ranking got worse in terms of scoring. We were lower by at least by 1 point. Over 2016 period. So for 2 years running, we're now next to the most corrupt country in West Africa, which is Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau is the most corrupt country in West Africa now for 4 straight years. So what is this CPI, annual CPI ranking, as it were? It's called the Corruption Perception Index. What it does is the perception index, what we call the CPI, scores countries on how corrupt their governments are believed to be. So this is a survey of perception of corrupt practices, not actual corruption that takes place in those countries that are measured or surveyed by Transparency International. Now, one of the key areas that makes Nigeria's economy and government ranking very difficult and naughty when it comes to issues even such as corruption, tracking or perception is the oil sector. Now, it looks like change is coming into that crude oil sector, unmasking the oil thieves in the oil sector. Nigeria's junior oil minister, Dr. Ibe Kachiko, says in Abuja on Tuesday that the Nigerian crude oil production and liftings by oil vessels are now being electronically tracked by the government in partnership with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC. Dr. Kachiko says the Department of Petroleum Resources, which is under his ministry, is finalizing what is called forensic analysis that shows every oil vessel coming into Nigeria, what they are doing within the country, and where the vessels are going after they lifted oil. That is what he told the ongoing Petroleum Congress, a Pan-African forum entering its 3rd day today in Abuja. According to the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Kachiko says very soon Nigeria will be able to tell on a day-to-day basis the funny activities that took place by those operating in the crude oil environment. Meantime, the junior oil minister says the tracking system which has been put in place for the upstream sector will be extended to the downstream oil sector, where we have very difficult problems of tracking oil that refined petroleum products that landed in Nigeria and those that are loaded on tankers or haulage vehicles, as it were, and reported thousands and thousands of them being moved out of the country through the country's various borders. That's chasing oil thieves. A new electronic system now being put in place to make sure that every drop of oil is accounted for. Let's change gear into the financial services industry. The Central Bank of Nigeria has rolled out a new set of regulations and fines that will be relating to e-payments, or what we call electronic payments of salaries, pensions, and other remittances for suppliers and revenue collection for the government. You need to take this in, folks, because the new regulations and rules is coming just a few days after the government announced a new what you call strategic revenue generation initiative, which was unveiled last Wednesday by the Honorable Minister of Finance, and of course everyone else, everyone who is in the revenue generation MDAs were all there. So what does the new rule say? Well, the Central Bank says the new rules aligns with the core objectives of the country's national payment systems under Vision 2020, or what they call the FSS 2020. And what does that look to do is to ensure safe, effective, and efficient mechanisms for all types of payments from any location via e-channels. So what's the penalty? Any commercial bank and other financial institutions who misbehaved will get a 2.5 million naira penalty for every repeated occurrence of specific infractions and termination of the use of unapproved end-to-end e-payment solutions. In other words, any bank or other financial institutions like microfinance banks or others who use unapproved end-to-end e-payment solution for every infraction that occurred, every specific infractions, that bank or that financial institutions will get 2.5 million naira penalty, and that's it. So as long as you commit those offenses or you use unapproved e-payment system in terms of revenue collection and all of that, or e-payment system, you get that penalty. The Central Bank says it's looking to reduce the time and cost of transactions and minimize leakages in revenue receipts and provide reliable audit trails, which will align Nigeria with international best practices within the global financial system. Okay, well, so what do we have on our calendar for the week? We're wrapping up the week in just about 2 days. That's taking us to the first trading day of February. So, Deloitte Nigeria, this Nigeria Economic Outlook, and of course, this is a part of what we expect. This grand get-together tomorrow to look at here in Lagos. The Honorable Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, will provide insight into Nigeria's revenue growth and economic development expectations for 2019. That's on Thursday. Then, of course, same day, the same conference, the Honorable Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udo Udoma, will tell business sector what's in the budget, what's the name, Budget 2019 for them. Of course, every business leaders will be taking, listening to that. Then there will be 2 sessions on subnationals in the FG's Inclusive Growth Agenda. The Kaduna State Governor, Madam Nasra Rufai, is expected to be there, as well as Nigeria's quest for global competitiveness, which, of course, the FRS chief, Babatunde Fowler, Dr. Jubake Oduwale, will be speaking to. It's a very grand, full-day event there. You don't want to miss all that coverage here, so we bring you the best of economy and business.